Well, thank you all for being here today. And I can start by saying, well, thank you, Jonathan, for such a great example of how our products are easily transforming some of the experiences that you all are creating for your customers. When I think about what we're all doing here, we're all here to make our customers' lives easier. And quite frankly, that's what Bob and I do all day long for you, our customers. So thank you all for being here, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about some of the things we've been working on and what our team is hoping to bring forward to you over the next few months. So, it's not hard to see. You've heard it from Jeff earlier today and Mike. We have always had a history of innovation. How are we thinking about what you need, what your customer experiences need to thrive and succeed? Starting all the way back in 2012 with our data layer and TIQ product, and then now all the way to today with the advancements that we're seeing and some of the new products we're talking about with AI Stream, and looking forward to even taking that further. We continue to innovate, and whether it's through some of the smaller integrations that you see on a monthly basis that come through in our over 1,200 integrations and ecosystem, or some of the larger innovations like we just heard about with Jonathan with Moments IQ, Moments API that was discussed yesterday, and we're really excited about everything we've been able to do. So let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about how we think about this and why, when we put together our product roadmap, where we're focused and what we're trying to do for you. Everything that my team and that the entire product organization at Tealium thinks about is what's happening in your world that we can make easier. And there's three things that we continue to see each and every day that are challenges that I know each and every one of you feel. The first of that is that your data is everywhere. We've heard different stories over the last few days of whether it's silos of information across your CRM or your data warehouse, inside Tealium, across your website, your mobile app, it's everywhere, right? And every team is trying to figure out how to bring that all together to best utilize that. We see this challenge continuing to expand as more and more data continues to be captured and your entire ecosystem and tech stack is more and more complicated. The second major challenge that we feel and that we see you feel regularly is being asked to do more with your data, whether it's the new innovations around AI or improving your consent capture and understanding your privacy regulations. There's always another challenge that your marketing team is being asked to solve and do more with. And then the last one is we all are always asked to do more with less. It's either learn this new tool or take on this new challenge or drive this new campaign. And how can we continue to make that easier and more straightforward? And so we want to try and make your jobs with data easier as well. So I've talked a little bit about what we think about in general and kind of those three main forces, and I want to tell you about some of the newest innovations that we've recently brought to the team and that others are using today. So the first that I want to highlight is our Consent 2.0 product. This is a whole suite to help you think about your privacy and your regulations. Privacy regulations, as Mike mentioned earlier today, took years off his life. I think they take years off all of our lives because they're constantly changing. They're constantly being new ones that are cropping up, and we are all trying to figure out how do we adapt to that. Well, we are privacy first here at Tealium. We think about that privacy first and foremost. It's important for you. It's important for your customer. It's important for that trust and that bond you're building. So whether it's through the capture of the data, through either the Tealium consent configuration or through an integration that we have with OneTrust or other consent management tools, you can capture that data over on the left. And then now we've recently released our new consent orchestration tool that then helps ensure you're orchestrating and delivering the right data to the right people at the right time and not necessarily sending it to the ones who don't want to receive further information. I like to refer to as our consent orchestration tool as the feature that helps your auditors sleep at night. And hopefully it helps all of you sleep at night too, because now you're able to make sure that you have that control over your activation. Another major area that we see you're challenged with regularly, I mentioned, was just all of that data scattered through all of those different systems, through all of those different places. And what can we do to help you bring that together so that you can utilize that in the best way possible? Many of our customers have recently been, again, trying to coordinate many of those pieces of data silos within their cloud warehouses, whether that be Snowflake or Databricks. And we at Tealium want to make sure that we can connect to those for you to then, again, bring it together with your real-time data and activate it for your customer experiences. We've recently introduced bi-directional integrations with these data warehouses. First, of course, being Snowflake, and then we're continuing to evolve with Databricks, AWS, Google Big Cloud, Azure, you name it, we'll go ahead and integrate with it. That's part of what we do here at Tealium. Another thing that is often on the top of mind for a lot of our customers is understanding how the system is working and operating so that they can ensure that the experiences they're trying to drive are actually occurring, are creating the touch points that you want with your customer. We recently introduced some new visualization and observability tools within the application that allow you to see what's happening with your connectors, any issues or errors that might be occurring, as well as providing you better functionality within your Tealium functions for encryption. So again, streamlining what might be a challenge for you when it comes to the security, the scalability, and the observability of your entire stack. And the last one I want to touch on today is around some improvements that we're making around our usability and our user interface. Excuse me. We've recently released some new user interfaces. You may have seen them in our audience areas of the application. You might start to see them now in our connector workflows. Hopefully, a few of you have signed up to join into that recently, as well as you'll see some new other ones coming out across attributes and the entire user interface. We want to make it easier for you to get what you need done throughout the system without having to connect all the dots or do the same workflow over and over again. One area that I'm very excited about and is releasing generally next week is our new version history page for our Event Stream and Audience Stream products. This provides you visibility into all the changes that have been made with each version, every save and publish, so that you can truly see what is happening within the system and also, again, the workflows across your team. This is coming as part of a broader enhancement we're making around user interactions and ensuring that your teams can work concurrently together in the Tealium software. So stay tuned, that's coming out very soon as we're in early access with it today. You'll also see other improvements with AI-powered assistance, some new fresh navigation updates, and again, as we're trying to streamline how the operations of the system is for your teams to get what you need done faster and then ultimately serve your customers. So I've told you a little bit about some of the things that we've recently been working on. I'm going to hand over now to Bob to paint the future.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hey, so great. We did those good things in the past. What are you going to do for me in the future? We don't have enough time, so I'm not going to talk about AI in this. Oh, wait, yes, I am. I'm going to talk about AI. But there's more than we're doing than just AI. So let me first talk about our industry solutions. Now, 2 years ago, we released Tealium for Pharma. Last year, Tealium for Healthcare. And we have had a lot of success there. You saw Jeff's slide earlier. A lot of healthcare and pharma companies are coming to us, some of the big ones. And one of the things that they've said to us recently is, you know, we're using not to be named analytics package that is not, it's not HIPAA compliant. In the US, you know, a lot of regulation around what kind of data can be used and where, under what conditions. And we're really concerned about that. So we want the reporting system to have a locked-down set of data that's being reported back to us. And you guys at Tealium have already done all that. You have all this data. It's already locked down. You've got the consent. You've got all this. Can you help us build some reporting dashboards and insights course, we have the technology for that, so we said, sure. So while this sort of futures side of our innovation talk is not meant to be product announcements, I am happy to say that, that Tealium Healthcare Insights is available and will be available very soon. So that's going to be, I'm very excited about that. And it will potentially lead us into more of a promised land that Jeff was talking about earlier, where maybe we open that up from an analytics and insights standpoint. Not that you're going to see us become an analytics platform. That's not what Tealium does. But we have all the data, we have all the technology to give you dashboards and to allow you to build your own. So talk to us if you want that. And we're also looking at other kinds of integrations and technologies for other regulated industries. I started, I told you about healthcare, pharma, but consider utilities, education, government, financial services. There are a lot of these regulated industries that we can help with. The second is what I like to call intelligent zero-copy architecture. Now, the term zero-copy has been kind of bandied about quite a bit by some vendors who say, one of the things that you can do is you can use our technology to query, say, your data warehouse directly to generate, say, audiences or segments, and then activate them. And you don't need a CDP. Well, Tealium has never been the CDP that has been the long-term repository. We're a streaming platform, as you've heard many times today. So a lot of the interactions with your customer experience require that the data be hot. So like we can't power Moments API with data from a data warehouse. It has to be much faster than that. Even if we could cache the data from the data warehouse, the data that we're caching is by definition stale, right? Because collecting the data, unifying the data, and making it available into the data warehouse, we could probably do in about 5 seconds. But that's not real time for us, even though it's valid for many use cases. So we want to do it in real time. So what we're doing with this sort of intelligent zero copy is to say, some of the data that we have, we the customer, is in sort of hot streaming, right? The architecture, the data layer that Tealium is known for, and some of it is in data warehouse. And maybe at the end, if you saw Ian's demo yesterday, maybe at the end of the session, we'll take all the new information that we discovered and we'll send it to the data warehouse. But that's not till the end of the session, or a few seconds later. But what if there was a way to actually say, I want to do a query that takes some of the stuff that I know now and some of the stuff that I know from the past, say, historical record, and bring them together to do personalization. And to me, that's the intelligent zero copy, which is go fetch the data wherever it lives. You tell us where it lives. We'll bring the data back, and we'll generate all the goodness for you. So our audience builder will evolve, right, to allow you to create that audience using your CDW without SQL and have it live in Tealium for a real-time activation. So the intent here is best of both worlds. Streaming and all your data from history, if you will. Next is agents, AI, agentic workflows. There's two kind of elements to this. The first is your website is going to start being crawled by agents, not by humans. When are you going to know that? How are you going to know that? I don't have an answer. All I know is it's going to happen. So, but we want to help you prepare for that, to be able to tell that this looks like a human, this looks like an agent. And agents look different from, say, the spiders of old, right? So figuring that out is something that I want to have a dialogue with you on. But the second element is what we're doing with agents. Now, the Tealium Assistant, which Jennifer just mentioned, is kind of our toe in the water. And Chris from Lloyd's, if you're here, one of the things that we'll also make available is a little, I won't call it an agent, but we'll call it a small language model that'll go look at your Tealium functions, your Tealium extensions that unfortunately may not be as documented as you would like. And then we'll tell you what it does and stick it in the description field. And suddenly you can say, wow, I didn't know that it could do that. So we've got those kinds of things back in the lab. They're trying to harden and make sure that it becomes available. As you can imagine, building non-deterministic software is its own set of challenges. Many of your companies, many of your legal departments, your procurement departments are telling us, don't give us any AI. And if you do, we want to know what it is. What algorithms are you using? Where are you training your data? How do you know that it doesn't have any bias? On and on and on, as you can imagine. So AI safety is going to be very important for us. So each feature, as we make available, will, by default, be off. And then you'll have the option, assuming your organization allows it, right, to turn it on, if that's what your policy is. So, and then we'll move from this world of today, which is, I'm going to ask the chatbot, how do I do this? And it comes back and says, do the following three things or four things. To the next phase will be, do this for me. And then it would be, now suggest new things. And then eventually it will be, hey, I now have a squadron of Tealium experts, all in a particular area. And so I have some objective function that I have determined, and I want to have them go work on that for me. So, and lastly, this doesn't happen without APIs. So we introduced the Tealium Trust Platform here last year, and so we're going to open that up. And so we're going to have API coverage for most of the features in the product. You've told us that you want to extend and automate Tealium, so we're going to do that. Authenticated API endpoints, you can read all the rest. But opening up the platform for you, not to build new businesses on necessarily, but to be able to script and automate Tealium and bring some of these agentic workflows to it is also where we're going. So with these innovations, we're reimagining what's possible with the platform and with the CDP and with customer data. An open system that anticipates your needs, it feeds your AI systems without any data wrangling, it ensures compliance, and delivers measurable value. So thank you. I just want to close by saying, I said this last year, and I believe it, I'll say it next year if I'm invited back, you are our secret weapon. So thank you. I appreciate it.